Hello everyone, it's me TK, your coach on the rocks. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. It's great to see you. Give me a wave. Today I wanted to talk about something interesting, hopefully, which you'll appreciate. So, when I started my business, my business partners, quite soon after, I've realized that sales is an important part of my working day. And now I say that it's one of the major parts of what I do in the company. For better or for worse, I at one point had to accept it. There was no other choice. It's just what it is. And, the other choice I had, was not to do it and not to succeed. So there you go, sales. But it hasn't been easy, especially at first. The one thing I always struggled with, and to be honest, I struggle with it still, is having these first sales conversations. What do you mean by that? Well, it's these conversations when you go out for a coffee with a friend. You have to turn it into a sales conversation. You have to take a plunge and make the ask. Is there anything we can do for you, or is there an opportunity for us to work together? These kinds of questions. And by the way, I didn't have these questions at first. I've learned them throughout the way. And I had a huge challenge with this social transition between just a conversation and a sales conversation. I remember working in other businesses before, and when I knew it was a sales conversation, that we're having one, it isn't a problem because the social contract is already set. But when you have to change it, it becomes quite awkward. And yes, sales is awkward. Doesn't need to be, but at times it is. It's like cold calling, right? You have to get yourself through the point and actually acknowledge the fact that you will be interrupting people. Yes, you will. And that's how it works. And this is why people say cold calling is dead, because so many people don't want to do that and they want to hear that they don't have to. It's not that I do much of it, but, I acknowledge the fact that I probably should do more. Still, I think there's many difficult things we need to do in our lives. Whatever it is, sales or not, I don't claim to be any kind of an expert, nor did I claim to be especially talented. But I know one thing. You either live in denial and say, I don't want to do that, I have no talent, this will never work for me. Or own it and say, look, right, it's fine. I'm not great at it, but I can only get better. And, I'll practice, I'll learn techniques, I'll talk to people that know how to do it better, grab some tips, and accept the fact that this is now a part of the life you chose. Or maybe this is the part of the life that someone else has chosen for you, and that's just the way it is. But still, there's no point denying that sometimes we need to figure out what is our attitude to things that we might not want to do. But maybe we should. With all this, all the best. I would say I will see you tomorrow, but I'd love to see you this afternoon. At 5 p.m. GMT, we are hosting a session about leadership development with agility and overcoming your imposter syndrome. I definitely had the imposter syndrome when I was starting to sell. It's slightly better, but the methods we will introduce to you this afternoon will probably have helped me quite a bit when I was starting out. With that, hope to see you this afternoon. Bye.